Good morning, it's the Carsalesguru here with some wonderful tips. It's time to get straight to the nitty gritties now. Let's just say you have found the car you like. Now remember, you haven't bought the car yet. You may hear subliminal messages out of the salesperson that may suggest that we're going to give you top dollar for your trade-in and so forth. The trade-in is very, very simple. You either sell it or you don't. So I'm not going to go into that in too much detail because look, there's a lot of tricks with the trade-in. They walk around, they say it needs tyres. You want 10 grand for the car, it needs tyres, it's out of rego. The whole idea of this is to depreciate the car. So when you want $10,000, they say, well, it might be worth $10,000, but we've got to spend $3,500 on it to roadworthy. And look, 9 times out of 10, it's legit. There's also things that you don't tell unfortunately, you don't tell the salesperson, which they find out anyway, like it's a different colour paint, so it's been an accident, or at the front of it, underneath the hood, especially on Holdens, where the compliance plate is, it's got special cat's eyes rivets. They know straight away that the compliance plate's been taken off. So there are things that the salesmen know that you may try to hide from them. Don't try to hide them. Be upfront with them. Say it's been the front end. I backed into a pole or whatever. It's not the end of the world, right? But if you be honest with them up the front, it could be a couple of $100 difference for them to get the car looking the way they want it to look. But at the end of the day, you can sell it yourself privately. But let me tell you, then you become the salesman, and it ain't as easy as we all think. Otherwise, there wouldn't be car yards, and you don't offer a warranty, and you'll get all these tyre kickers, as we call them. All right. Okay. So we're going to go for a test drive, right? Now, the first thing the salesman will ask you, the first thing I want you to do is when you say, I want to go for a test drive in this car, right? He'll say, go up the front of the yard. I'll get the car prepared, and we'll go for a test drive. What I want you to do, I want you to go to the car with him when he gets the keys, and I want you to hear the car clicking over for the first time. Now, you'll find a lot of yards that don't keep up with the yard work. It'll have a flat battery. The first thing they'll say, we left the door open and the battery's flat. Well, that's rubbish. It means the car hasn't been started for 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 days. And treat a car like if you were in bed for 1 or 2 days. How would you feel? You'd feel rotten, your muscles would all be sore and so forth. The car needs to breathe, it needs to work. Cars are working machines. So first suggestion, tip, stand right beside him when he's starting. Go to the back of the car, and when he starts it, if it does start, then he'll put his foot down, and you'll see in the first 30 seconds whether it's got, especially a used car, it'll have some maybe white smoke come out of it. White smoke generally means oil. Black smoke means trouble. Condensation, don't forget, inside the pipes, if there's been a rainfall the night before, you'll get a lot of water that comes out of the exhaust pipes. Well, don't be too concerned about that. Be concerned if tons of it comes out because maybe it hasn't been started for a while, and but it's not petrol. Some people think it's bloody petrol coming out the back of the exhaust pipe. I used to find that quite funny. So there we go. The car is now started. Now, you're not allowed to drive the car inside the dealership. There's a reason for this, because if you hit some other car, you know how tight these cars are. So you've heard the car started. It started fine. You didn't hear fan belts squeaking. You didn't hear it knocking. Sometimes, especially in V8s, they knock. They have the Gen 3 knock. To me, it's not a big issue, but to some customers it is. People are sceptical of the V8s because they think they've been hooned. Again, remember, you can get an RSV check. In fact, any car you buy, get a check on it. It's worth $150, and get a good check, not just a quick look over. Get it over the pits, look underneath it. It's amazing. Cars underneath can be pitted. And pitted means that they've been taken down too many stone roads, and there's a lot of bumps underneath it, or there's some really bad things that things have been replaced because there's been a front end accident, and the only way that'll find out is to be put up on the to get it on the pits or up on the racks. So First suggestion, car starts, you're with it. He'll ask you for your driver's license. You'll then he'll take it inside. He'll get you a photocopy. He'll get you to sign something. Now remember, when you sign something, you're signing an agreement that you're taking the car out for a test drive. Okay. Now, most dealerships insist the salesman go with you for a test drive. You've already signed a test drive form to say that if anything happens to the car, you are accountable and you will pay X amount of dollars on top of the insurance if something goes wrong. My suggestion to you, tell the salesman you don't want him to go with you for a test drive. The reason, so that you're in your own territory. If it's a four-wheel drive, you can park it in your garage if you live down the road. If it's a sedan, you can feel it going through the gears, you know areas to go to. See, the way a salesman works, they call it the perfect test drive. They'll make you do left-hand turns, never right-hand turns, so you're always going with the traffic. They'll make sure you don't go past dealerships so that you can't see the same car cheaper. They'll make you pull over twice so that the wife and you get to drive the car, which to me is not a bad thing. But the salesman will always drive the car first. The reason for that is that it's like a golfer blaming his golf clubs. Let's say you're driving a manual and you haven't driven a manual for a while, and the first thing it jumps and it pumps and it does this and that. Well, a lot of customers don't blame themselves, they blame the car. If the salesman drives the car and it doesn't do it, and you drive the car and it does do it, what would that suggest to you? The car or the person? Of course it'd be the person. But what I would do was, if you've got baby seats, it ain't too much trouble. Get the bloody baby seat out of your car, put it inside the new car that you want. If you've got children, don't leave them at the dealership. Get them in the car because they're going to be part of it. We don't need the wife staying, because a lot of salesmen will try to get you to go inside the nice air conditioning, have a cup of coffee, take the kids, let them play with all the books and all the crap, and you and him will go for a test drive. No, you're paying 20 grand. You go for a test drive. Family goes for a test drive. And while it's away, just say, here's the keys to my trade-in. I'm more than happy for you to drive my car because I'm about to drive your car. And if you're not prepared to let them drive your car, you've obviously got a hidden agenda, hidden issue, and you'll find you won't get the price that you may want. You'll never get the price you want anyway. It's what you get. It's not what you want. You don't have to sell the car. Remember, it's all about changeover price, as I said earlier. Remember, so you go for a test drive. Go for a long test drive. Take it down roads. If it's got ABS brakes, find out what ABS brakes do. It doesn't hurt the car. Press the brakes hard and you'll see what ABS does. It feels really, really, really funny, right? Remember, you have signed a piece of paper to save you speed. If you get caught with cameras, that your name, you will pay for all that. So you still have to treat duty of care the car with respect, not just take it for a hoon. So treat the car with respect and there'll be no problems. Get it to some place where you can get the car up to at least 100 kilometres an hour or 90 kilometres an hour, because unfortunately a lot of areas are restricted. And try cruise control, which you may never have had. Try all the things that you haven't got in your car that you're getting in this car. If it's got climatic control or dual climb control, try it. One side can be 18 degrees, other side can be 30 degrees. Try it. The whole idea of this is to test every part of it. And what I would do is, when you're about 3 or 4 k's out of town, pull over, let your good lady or the lady, you let the husband drive, both have a drive of the car. Check all the seats. If they've got electronic seats, how they move, because some of them have got 18 positions. Go into the boot and make sure you check the wheel, because this is a little trick that a lot of dealerships do. Let's say it's a Calais you're buying. It's got beautiful Calais wheels, right? These lovely alloys. And in the boot, you noticed on the day that there's a 5th alloy. Then on pickup, you notice that the alloy disappeared and it's just become a normal, everyday steel wheel, right? What some dodgy dealers do, and I'm not saying every dealership's dodgy, I'm just saying if you deal with a little used car yard, If they get 4 of those identical wheels, they've got themselves another set of wheels for a car, and they will get it. So what you pay for is what you should be getting. If it's got a CD, if it's an older car and it's got a CD stacker in the boot, a CD player, make sure it bloody works, because under warranty you're not covered. You're not covered under warranty. There's things under warranty you're not covered. Wear and tear. CD players are one of them. And it's one of the most important parts of the car that everybody wants to see their CD player working. If it has a DVD player in it, make sure that works, because the kids want the DVD player to work. The warranty covers the drive chains of the car and covers all the components that are what you would call drivable parts for the motor car. All right? So go for your test drive, come back, park it outside the dealership. Don't just drive it straight into the bloody dealership in the middle of 100 million cars in case you accidentally hit another car, and then, as they say in the car trade, you end up owning 2. Just park it somewhere close, and hopefully if the salesman is doing his job, he'll be out to you like Carl Lewis, the 100-metre sprinter, to say, how was the test drive? Now, this is where your honesty comes in, and I'm going to go into that in the next chapter.